Hello, welcome to part 3, and if you've just been watching part 2, you will know that we were going about TNA and Mick Foley's debut. Where was I? Yes, I was on about his promo, dealing out an Impact.
His dodgy-ish promo.
Really dodgy promo, because he was going on about, I'd like to thank everyone who made this move to TNA possible. And he started rather about Jeff Jarrett and la-di-da-di-da. I don't know if he mentioned Dixie Carter or not. I don't think he did, actually. And then he went, and the main person that made it possible, Vince McMahon. And then it was a bit like, there was a small kind of, it wasn't even a kind of, I think he was expecting major boo. I know I vote for you. I think he was expecting major booing.
I'm fighting the honky tonk one.
You're like a honkometer ready. I think Foley, I think maybe was expecting major booing in the Impact Zone, but he didn't get it at all.
He didn't make a cheer.
No, it was just like Vince McMahon.
It's almost like the crowd were like, it's pointless.
And he was there kind of going, thanks Vince for making the decision to leave the WWE an easy one.
I think it was Vince's decision, wasn't it?
Well, Foley, the whole thing, it was alluded to in the promo, the whole thing when he was the commentator is that Mick Foley didn't like the idea that Vince McMahon was going to be sitting in the gorilla position, yelling what to say down the headset.
I don't like that at all.
No, but you'd be aware of it. If you were working for the WWE
for
more than 10 years, you'd know that.
They've done it for years as far as I
know.
It
wouldn't be a major surprise. It's not, you are not telling me Foley turned up for work on day one, like that, going, oh what, Vince has to speak to me when I'm commentating? No fucking way. So, right, Foley knew that was going to happen. So for him to twine on about it now is like, well, right, this is what gets me. If you read Vince's book, if you read Foley's books, like Hardcore Diaries and Foley is Good, mainly in Foley is Good, I think, a lot of it, there's a few chapters where he's on about, oh yeah, everyone misunderstands Vince McMahon, and oh, he's a really nice guy, and la 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 la, and all this kind of stuff. And he's, he's brilliant, he's done a lot for wrestling, done a lot for my career. And all of a sudden that just suddenly changes in Mick Foley's world. Now Vince McMahon's a bastard again. Kurt Angle's kind of done the same thing. Years ago when he was with WWE, it's like, oh, Vince McMahon, he's a twisted genius. And then as soon as they leave on bad terms, oh, Vince McMahon's an arsehole. This kind of stuff, it's like, well, make up your fucking mind, Just like, suddenly it just goes, oh yeah, he's not really. So I found it a bit rich from Foley to start having pops at the WWE in the middle of a TNA promo. And I mean have major pops. I mean the thing that they had, Kurt Angle joined him in the ring because, there was a whole debate as to, Jeff Jarrett had called Mick Foley TNA's greatest acquisition. And which obviously is the title that Kurt Angle thought he had.
Well, does that not say it all for the TNA?
Pretty much, yeah. And it was just like, he went, Angle joined him in the ring in some crazy denim shirt. And then just started babbling on about how, I was the greatest acquisition that TNA ever had, and I carried this company on my back for 2 years, and blah, blah, bloody blah. And then Foley starts going on about, well, maybe you are the greatest acquisition TNA's ever had. Maybe Jeff Jarrett's wrong in calling me the greatest acquisition. And he started waffling on about the commentary days he had, which let's not forget was about 3 months. And how he saw, in the WWE, he saw superstars as John Cena, momentary pause, and they cheered. And then he went, Edge, The Undertaker, and things. I saw these wrestlers, Triple H and that. All of them didn't get booed. I think they were expecting, maybe, ooh, WWE wrestlers, boo, this. It didn't happen. And I was like, that's a big risk. Mentioning your main opposition's, main wrestlers in your promo. You really are banking on the response you want from that.
Yeah, but I'll just mention it with you. Back to Hogan. I remember once Vince cut a promo just not long after the whole WCW purchase thing.
Yeah.
And he was saying, oh, I might bring some old WCW stars back, and he started reeling them off like Sting, and he got to cheer and stuff. And he mentioned Hogan, and Hogan got a very sort of make a boo reception type thing, right? Which was a bit sad for. But then when they brought him back in the NWO, no one would bloody stop cheering for him. Yeah, see, it's like, if we mention his name, nah. If he turns up, we'll cheer him.
Yeah, that would be great, yeah. No.
So maybe the psychology is, if they brought Undertaker in the arena, he would have got booed.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That would have been a surprise now, can you imagine that? In the Impact Zone, dong! Now that would have been headlines. That would have been.
That would have been the greatest. That would have been the greatest acquisition.
That probably would have been the greatest acquisition if Edge had suddenly turned up. You know, that would have been great. But at the moment, it just felt like a really weird promo. And then that was all leading up to the fact that Foley was. I mean, Bound for Glory was Sunday night. I haven't actually had a chance to check the results yet. This is a Monday night we're taping this. 24 hours after it. So. You know, I haven't had a chance to check the results of Bound for Glory yet, so I don't know. Foley's maybe had the greatest angle of all time at Bound for Glory. I don't know.
Is Foley wrestling? Is he on the wrestling capability?
No, he's special enforcer for Jeff Jarrett.
So he's a Mike Tyson role?
Mike Tyson / Chuck Norris.
Well, good.
Yeah. So it was just a bit strange, really. That's what I mean about TNA. It was just a bit odd how they didn't really... You know, they didn't push TNA. They seem to be a lot more about
pushing WWE.
You know, pushing WWE, which just raises awareness for the opposition. And if TNA are frustrating because they have all the tools to make a go of it at WWE and make wrestling American pro wrestling a two-company thing again. But they don't seem to want to use it. They just seem to want to kind of believe in their own hype. Because TNA seem to have a pretty small fan base in comparison to WWE.
Yeah.
When you think wrestling, for your average fan,
a lot of people wouldn't have heard of TNA.
Yeah,
everyone's heard of WWE when they say, well, WWF, a lot of people still think it's called, but TNA.
Misguided people, but TNA is a bit off the beaten track for some people. It's not instantly as accessible a kind of brand name, and I think they should be trying to rectify that. They shouldn't just be, picking away at WWE in some sort of petty way. If you really want to go after WWE, then stick on some good storylines, and move to your strengths. Because WWE don't have anyone like AJ Styles, or I don't think Samoa Joe would be as high up the WWE ladder as he is at TNA.
That's what they do. They buy top talent and bury them usually, don't they?
Well, yeah, exactly. I think, to be honest with you,
look at Ron Truth Killings K Quick, whatever he's called.
Yeah, Ron the Truth, who's had quite a bad debut apparently.
Yeah, but I'll be surprised.
Feuding with Shelton Benjamin at the moment.
Is he?
Which, it looks like quite a good wee feud going on.
It's getting rowdy. Yeah.
No.
All right.
So that's looking all right actually, but TNA, it's frustrating because they do have the capability. It's not as if, but they tend to be filling themselves with. We have about 2.5 minutes.
So not survive shoot.
Well, I can do a fourth part if you want.
We'll consider that. Keep talking about TNA.
Yeah. But I just, I find it really baffling. I mean, do you watch much TNA?
I've saw a bit, but sadly I seem to watch all the poor angles, such as a Christmas tree made out of barbed wire, some match between Abyss and Black Rain that had a table full of mouse traps and
stuff like that.
And that one with the X above the ring.
That's Ultimate X.
And there's one.
Ultimate X can be quite cool.
There's one with the casket match that fell apart as well, apparently.
That was the last rights match between Abyss and Sting. It was awful.
That's what I mean. They seem to go for much more crazy gimmicks.
Yeah, well, this is it. The problem with TNA is, for every one good idea TNA have, I think I've said this before on the Burning Table, for every one good idea they have, it seems law that TNA have to have 4 really shit ones just to combat it. So for every step forward TNA have to take at least 3 or 4 back just to, even
I think
out.
also TNA's got a problem now with a lot of the top stars are getting old, like the Dudleys and
Sting,
Gunn and Sting and Road Dogg and even Angle. He's not old, but he's knackered. And Kevin Nash, they released Nash.
Apparently Nash was in contract talks. Last I heard.
Right.
No, he was looking to extend it, but there was a rumour floating around for a long time that Nash was going to come back to WWE.
Not as a wrestler, surely.
Apparently they were going to resurrect the whole Diesel thing with Shawn Michaels. But not call him Diesel, obviously, because everyone knows he's Kevin Nash.
Call him Diesel.
Yeah, I just thought he's Diesel. No, Kevin Nash. But I don't know. As I say, TNA could make such a go of it if they just focused a little bit more and didn't, on what their strengths are, rather than trying to pick away at WWE.
Well, now I watch it, I do see a lot of WCW in it.
That's the Russo thing.
Yeah, I see a lot of it. The announcing and just the entrances seem very WCW-ish.
Yeah. So anyway, that's part 3 ended with. We'll do Survivor Series, I think.
Yeah, I think we should do
part 4.
We've got time.
Let's do